Help support the companies that support our community. For this box, I'm going to use walnut. The piece I'm starting with is about 4.5 inches in diameter and about 3 inches long. So I'm going to put it in between centers and turn a tenon down on one end. And I'm using the Easy Wood rougher to do that. After I got the tenon made, I went ahead and put the chuck on so I could grab it and start shaping the box. On this end of it here, I'm making another tenon, and this will be the tenon that goes in the lid. And again, I'm using the Easy Wood rougher, and then I'll use the Easy Wood hollerer to shape the outside of it. After I got it shaped, went ahead and pulled the tailstock away and hollowed out the inside of it. After I got it clean out, I ran through a couple of grits with dry sandpaper before switching over and wet sanding it with the Doctor's walnut oil. I ran through all the grits with that up to 600 and sanded the inside of it too. After I had that done, went ahead and flipped it around, used a jam chuck to secure it back on the lathe, and brought the tailstock up and cleaned up the bottom of it. I brought the tailstock up to support it while I took off most of the material, and then at the very end just pull the tailstock away to clean up that little nub on the end. And then the same process here, run through a couple of grits with dry sandpaper before using the Doctor's walnut oil to finish sanding it. Same process here with the lid. I put it in between centers, turned a tenon down on one end of it so I could grab it in the chuck. This is the inside of the lid, so I turned the recess that will fit the tenon on the bottom of the box. Got that all cleaned up so it fit nice, and then started shaping a little bit on the lid. I went ahead and shaped that and sanded the inside before parting it off. After I got it parted off, I switched the jaws to a smaller set so that I could expand them and hold on to it using that recess. And I didn't finish sanding it with oil because I'm going to use resin on it here in just a second, and I didn't want that to affect the finish. Just finish shaping the top of it, and then I'm going to create a recess on the top of the lid as well. The material I'm using here is from Easy Inlay, and this stuff comes in, it's like a sheet, so you can cut it out. You can use it for a variety of things. I used the CNC to have it carve out a hummingbird, and it worked very well. This stuff also has an adhesive back on it, so after I got it cut out, you just peel the back off and stick it on to whatever you would like. So there's a couple little pieces. There's the belly of the bird was separate, and then one of the wings. So I got that all set in there, and then went ahead and mixed up some resin. I'm using stone coat resin. It's the quick coat. It sets up in about 3 hours. It is a little orange. I need to get some more. It's a little bit old, so that the actual hardener was a little bit orange, but I don't think it's going to affect it because it's not very deep, and it is over walnut, so we'll find out here in a second whether it's clear or not. Most of the little things you see are air bubbles, so I just kept torching this for, I don't know, about, I'm going to say about a half an hour. I just kept coming out, torching it, and it worked out perfect. There we go. I got it all done. Again, it's out of walnut. It's about 3.5 inches tall and 4 inches in diameter. But I just love that little inlay in there. And using this stuff is super cool. And you can cut it out on the CNC. So they make a variety of these. I used some strips. I don't know, a couple of months ago I did I can't remember whether it was a box or a little vase, and they had some thin ones, and I wrapped it around it, and it was super cool. So I had some bigger ones, and it works fantastic. The CNC cuts it right out. You can do any shape you wanted. So I just recessed that down in there a little bit. I would use some fresh resin next time, but it really didn't affect the color because it's walnut. If you're using a light colored wood, it might affect it a little bit more, but super cool. You could do a lot of stuff with that. And it comes in a sheet. I think they're about 10 inches long and about 2.5, I'm going to say 2.5 inches. And there's a variety of colors of this stuff too, so you could really do some neat stuff. I have some red, so Rob and I were looking around for fire pictures to maybe do something with that. Yeah, and like that, just recessing that down in there just a teeny little bit and putting something like that in there. It doesn't take much resin. It's really pretty easy. So it's a fun project. I love making boxes. All right, hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next week. Take care.